Hey,
Hey guys,
what's up?
welcome back to the show.
We just want to give you a quick breakdown. Parental advisory with this show. It could give you nightmares and stuff. I'm just kidding, but my friend, my co-host is gonna tell you what this episode's about.
So in this episode, we get into a little bit of the Trump conspiracies that we have, and we delve a little bit into the AI a little bit more in that discussion. And we touch a little bit on some of the skinwalkers, but then we get into some crazy stories like portals and the Philadelphia experiment. Also touch on some spiritual subjects, so be sure to check it out.
We also touch on some. We touch on some new subjects that are going to be future episodes too. It will be very interesting for you guys to check out. Thank you for tuning in and enjoy the show.
What's that
All right,
called?
welcome.
Episode 2, what's that called?
Episode 2. What's that called? It's about to get crazy in here. We got a special guest to witness this madness. He's just gonna sit there in shock of what comes out of our mouth.
I'm supposed to be here? This is kind of weird. I don't know.
This is a glitch in the matrix.
I feel like I'm trying to dip my toe in this water right here, but it looks awfully murky.
Yes, very murky waters we trail in these days. So welcome everybody, episode 2. And we are going to be covering skinwalkers, the demons that live amongst us. And speaking of skinwalkers, did you guys see the Biden adjusting his mask, his skin mask on the debate? He kept having to adjust it so it looked like he was not wearing a mask. No? You didn't see that?
So,
Was I the only one that noticed that?
so I'll only be on here for a few minutes, but no, I didn't see any of that. I honestly, I didn't really watch any of the debates or anything like that. But this topic in particular, I've heard about since I was fairly young, and it's always kind of weirded me out. It's always been a crazy concept to me. But bro, the way the world works and the way things seem to play out, and the weight of it all these days, it just feels like the possibilities are really endless. Like anything can actually be. And I'd never really seen anything. I don't dive into shit or want to, for that matter. But I could not put it past anything in the world anymore, bro. Like I don't believe in everything, but like I believe that there's a possibility of anything, you know? So
Yeah.
that's kind of where I land with it all. And as far as like some of this evil ass crazy shit goes, I try to like I feel like I'm supposed to somewhat ignore it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not supposed to give it any of my attention. You know what I mean? And I'm trying my hardest not to, because it's always trying to suck me in, bro. Like there's always some kind of crazy ass shit that's trying to pull my attention, and I try to avoid all that shit.
What's that? What's the famous quote from The Godfather? Every time I try to get out, they pull me back in.
So I gotta bring this up while you're on here, Rich, because Nielsen is the first person that told me about skinwalkers, and I've mentioned it before when our first guest, Antone, brought him up, is that he's Navajo, and he grew up on reservations, and he told us, me and Brandon, a few skinwalker stories, and based off of that, I do look. People could say whatever they want. I do believe it's a high possibility that people could manipulate energies and magic, and through dark means transform themselves with animal skins that are marked with ritual magic or sigils, and transform into these animals for a temporary time. It's a high possibility.
I mean, that's some crazy shit, bro. Some crazy shit.
It's kind of wild. the stories like on the reservations with the natives and stuff, like they have some pretty wild, like, battling like basically like demons. That's kind of sum it up. But yeah, skinwalker stuff's pretty wild, man.
They got skinwalker hunters, dude. Like actual
There,
Navajo people who are trained how to fight them and how to hunt them, which
oh,
is stuff we get into in a moment. But
there's that guy. You probably watched. He's on YouTube and he talks about that. He
yeah,
has he has a sword that he battles the skinwalkers with and stuff.
I was trying to find what his name was, and I can't remember what it is off the top of
He's
my.
The Highlander.
Nah, he's so dope.
hey,
And
hey, I made a cool ass meme out of the Highlander.
uh,
Oh, man.
I love all your meme stuff, bro. It's so funny.
Hey,
I don't like.
I got this one. I'm gonna make of me and you. It's gonna be like four little parts, but it's gonna be like you always trying to lecture me and pull me to the other side. Like in the first movie I made, I was like, oh, so like you're trying to
like
take me to
ghost
church and stuff. Don't
in the
worry.
flesh, come on.
That's so funny. That is so funny. I don't get to listen to it, bro. I get to kind of watch it in passing, so I don't really get to hear it all. But man, I'm gonna take some time this weekend if I can, bro, and I'm just gonna watch your meme movies and shit because it's so funny, so creative, bro. I love what you're doing, man. Y'all check it out. Listen up. You need to peep it out. Check out the meme movies that he's got. Part 2 just came out, right?
But it's about to, like,
It's
in the
about to
next
drop.
24 hours. Dun, dun, dun,
Woo.
dun, 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 dun. But yeah, back to the fucking skinwalkers, bro. Bears was telling me like about that, like the coyotes is like one of the things they like to shape into a lot,
Huh.
and
Yeah, coyotes, bears, deer are some of the ones that they normally do because it's those are the animals of the Navajo people that exist in Navajo regions. I mean, it's rare that you might see a buffalo or something like that as well. Um,
So
so
so hold on, fellas. Before I go, because I gotta go here in a minute. Help me understand where the fuck it changes from like changing from coyotes and bears and shit like that to this Biden shit you're talking about. You know what I mean? Like where does it? What the fuck? Like, how does it go from this to that, dog? And it's like some weird ass alien shit.
because they're all like different forms of like demons or skinwalker or whatever. Like
I mean,
with
that same guy you're talking about, if we're talking about the same guy, he's Navajo. He said that if you're talking about anything like that, these weird things outside of the Navajo Nation, that's why I named the specific things, are that it's more than likely a shapeshifter or something, because there's things that have similar traits as skinwalkers, but they're not called the same thing. Okay.
Uh,
So that's what you're probably dealing with or whatever, because what skinwalkers are only a Navajo thing. The name is Yanadaloshi, right? And that means he goes on all fours. And you're not supposed to actually say that, because when you say that, their ears perk up. And they're able to hear you
huh.
and come out. So there's ways of dealing with them. And again, like I said, this is coming from real Navajo culture, and that's where skinwalkers are from. So he's saying if you're basically talking about something else like that, then they're shapeshifters or like
It's
they're
a totally different thing.
they're
I
all
see.
demons. They're all
Well,
demons.
thank you for clarifying. Because that's kind of what I was thinking, though. You know what I mean? I'm like, it all sounds the same to me. So like, I don't understand, like, because there seems very different. You know, like when you're talking about this stuff, the Native American stuff, where it's like more animals and reminds me of like some ritualistic type things, and I'm sure rituals may have something to do with whatever else you're talking about,
But,
but
uh, uh,
it does seem like a totally different thing that's much more
and
darker. You know?
and the one thing I seen that the on the Navajo one that they were saying that you had to like sacrifice someone real close to you too
yeah,
to
there's a whole
become.
to all of it. That's why I brought up the having the sigils in the skins and stuff like that, because these people, they do a dark ritual that they take a life, and in exchange for that life they gain the ability to transform through dark means. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
dark mean, because they say that you can achieve this in the culture in a different way, because this was actually a good thing, but obviously all good things can be used in a very negative way, and that's what it turned into. Because there's this whole thing where the shamans have to go to the four mountains between Mexico, Utah, and two of them are in Colorado, and they have to do it in 7 days. And the only way they were able to do this is by shape shifting into animals to be able to traverse the lands faster and get to these points. And a big deal as far as their passage into being shaman. And that's where it started from. But again, like I said, every good thing usually ends up being used for evil purposes.
Hmm. Well, that's some crazy stuff, y'all. Well, I think my time is about up. I think I'm only allowed about 5 minutes on what's that called. So I'm
Uh,
about done here, y'all. But I love you guys, and good luck with the rest of the show. I hope y'all enjoy it. I actually we forgot a couple things on the Drobro show, so I'm probably gonna record a little something and add something to the end of it there, because I
Yeah.
forgot to mention a couple things, and we forgot our you're out skins, your or Grim your butt wipe.
Ah, yeah.
So make sure y'all bust it today on this one. I'll throw it in on my little thing that I add here. But I love you guys. Have a good rest of your evening. And what's that called? I appreciate y'all letting me be on and chopping it up with you on this episode. Hopefully I get to come on again soon.
Yeah.
Peace
All right.
out.
All right, fellas.
Peace out, Remo. So, okay, I also looked up the shapeshifters, and the reason why I did is because I wanted to talk about the difference between the two. And it's funny that they mentioned the Epic of Gilgamesh, which I brought up in our first episode when we talked about the Sasquatches.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's
yeah.
one of the oldest forms of totemism and shamanism, as well as the oldest existent literature and epic poems, such as Gilgamesh and the Iliad, where they had shapeshifters.
Huh. Oh man. Hey, isn't that Gilgamesh? That's over there where they're at right now in the Middle East, where the war's at.
Yeah. So, actually, funny thing, this was just speculative, and so no one really can say or not. I can't really condone this since I wasn't there, but rumor has it that Gilgamesh's tomb was there in Iraq, right? And that's why the military made a beeline from Afghanistan to Iraq. They seized what they found of Gilgamesh, which was said to change human history as we know it, because they found his body in his tomb, and it said the U.S. military confiscated that stuff from the Iraq Museum during the Iraq War, and that the war was kind of a distraction, if you will, so that they could seize these items and have them under their control.
Yeah, I read like how about like when they first went over there, they started like just taking out like artifacts and museums and shit like that, just bombing the shit out of stuff. I was like, damn. And then like it's like kind of weird. Like it's like, why would you? But see, this was like way before I learned about those ancient cities from over there, you know. But
Yeah,
it's like it's kind of crazy. It's like, why would you do all that, you know? And then it goes into like, and then like you learn down the road, you know, like no, where most of history of ancient times comes from there, and you're like, what? Why would they bomb that? And why would they want to cover up, you know, art? Why would artifacts be so, uh, you know, so bad? You got hey, there's weapons of mass destruction, but we're talking about the tablets of the hidden history. Those are
uh,
the weapons of mass destruction.
There's a picture up here, but when you click on it, it takes you to the video. It actually was a picture of the picture I seen leaked of when they took Gilgamesh's body, and it's a picture of Gilgamesh. But like I said, when you click on it, it's a video. But back to the skinwalkers. Okay, so the history of them. They're saying the exact origins of skinwalker mythos remain ambiguous, though they are generally said to have been shape-shifting evil witches with the ability to take possession of animals and other people. These ominous abilities are alluded to the Navajo phrase "Yene de Loshi," meaning with it he goes on all fours, which I already discussed. But like I said, the guy, wish I could. I think it's Johnny something, isn't it? Or remember what his name is. I know that sucks. And it's not showing it when I looked up Skin Hunter.
Oh, on YouTube?
Yeah. They just want to show Jack
Uh,
all that crap, which I don't really care about. I'm looking for the
he
guy.
has a lot of videos too.
Mm-hmm. So I watched a few of them, and he's an actual real Navajo skinwalker hunter, and he talked about some of that stuff. So when he was talking about it, he was talking about how they started off as a good thing. Like you said, that shamans made this pilgrimage and it had to be done in 7 days across 3 states, 4 mountains. They had to go to these mountaintops. And obviously, over time, there's darkness. They corrupt that magic and they used it for evil. So you can tell when there's ones, they come up to your house and stuff. So there's things you have to do to protect yourself from them coming. And they use things like bone dust and bone knife. And the bone dust has this stuff in it that when they put it in your face, it like paralyzes you so that you can't do anything or fight back. So you have to be able to know the ritual magic and stuff like that to protect yourself, or at least be with people who know how to protect you when dealing with you.
Dude, imagine that, huh? You just get some dust in your face and man, your your soul's trapped and screwed forever.
Yeah.
They do some wild magic, man. Oh,
This guy said that they found one of their relatives had been a skinwalker because they found a chest and there was just a dark energy there. When they opened up this chest, they found bone daggers and bone dust. They found teeth in a jar, and they found skins with, like I said, there's sigils carved into the skin so that they can use these skins when they wear them to transform into that animal. But like you discussed, that they usually have to kill someone very close to them. There's a few other steps that have to take place to forego the longer, harder way to achieve transforming into an animal, which would be the more righteous way. This way is a darker way that is faster and through the left-handed path. It comes with a backlash, and all magic is just magic. There's no such thing as good or bad magic. It's all the energy and intent behind it. So even the Amashiach, the Messiah, the Christ figure, right? And those that have used abilities that seem as miracles, they're using magic too. It's just they're using it in the right-handed path, which is in service to others, also service to God. The left-handed path is in service to self, which usually ends up hurting others. So again, like I said, magic is just what it is. It's energy. Intent behind it is what makes it good or bad.
yeah. And nowadays, seems like more people are wanting to do it for bad intents.
Yeah.
Hey, I read a book on on shamans and stuff, and it was called Shapeshifting, and it was like talked about like how they would like switch into different animals and fly and stuff, and like it was a pretty interesting book. But I was like, they're talking about how they had to go through the rituals of the I can't say it right, the anasana leaves or whatever.
The
That
Anasazi.
was or Yeah, where they drink it.
Oh,
And
good.
yeah, ayahuasca, yeah. And I was like, oh man. And then like you hear about people like throwing up and shitting all kind. Like you hear about all this crazy stuff, and I'm like, I don't know if I would go through all that. Have to like try it out, you know?
Funny thing is that werewolves, they, um, so I know we're gonna jump all over the place in this, but
I got a werewolf story for you.
I am of a Masonic background, so I do have studies that I get to learn in other things. And through that, one of the stories of Dr. Faust, I'm sure you've heard of it, maybe, Joe, I don't know, Dr. Faust and how he made a pact with the demon. And he didn't protect himself with the salt circle, so this demon basically forced him into a pact with it. And all he could really do is try to make the pact where it benefited him, because since he didn't protect himself, he was at the mercy of the spirit, which was Astaroth. Um, according to that, when a magician in his pact is dark like that, and he goes into a very dark occult magic like that, they usually end up. That's where the rumor is that werewolves came from, because they become bloodthirsty and they start doing worse and worse things to where they end up craving it and they become like werewolves. But according to the mother myth, Count Saint Germain, however you want to pronounce it, um, one of the people that's said to have been the apprentice or is Count Cagliostro himself, who is also the only person said to have discovered the Philosopher's Stone. So Count Saint Germain is said to be an immortal, and I think I brought him up in our first episode as the Wandering Jew is also another myth about him. But he has a legend and story where he was the vampire in New Orleans, and that's why New Orleans has vampire history there.
Hey, was he the interview with the vampire?
Yeah.
Hey, what do you remember about that? What is the title of it called? Because I saw it on a Mandela effect the other day.
But Interview with the Vampire?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or is
with
it interview with a vampire?
yeah, and with the vampire, I've seen that. So again, if you want to touch on that here, I have a theory about the Mandela effect. And funny thing is, I've seen more and more people say that, and it's basically kind of confirmed it to me. So, and I get again, like I said, I know this was supposed to be about skinwalkers, but that's what's that called? Um,
Yeah, we bounce around and I mean, give me a little bit of here, a little bit of here, you know what I mean?
so since we did our episode on Everything Everywhere All, for those of you who haven't seen that episode of the Joe Bro Show, go and watch that and watch that movie, and it might make more sense what I'm saying here. So CERN just taking two atoms and move them almost at the speed of light, slam them into each other. From this, we discovered the Higgs boson, or what's called the God particle. They say we're trying to uncover the building blocks of light, potentially creating a black hole there. Theory is that that black hole, what they're doing is they're opening a window into another reality, but two realities can't exist in one plane. So because of that, one reality has to be consumed by the other, especially when there's slight differences. I think when this is happening, um, that's where these alternate memories are coming from, because whoever has the stronger consciousness from that reality, the one who survives when the other reality merges into the other. And because we open this Pandora's box, I feel that we're always outrunning the new reality coming into this world. And every time they do this process, I feel that when they're opening this said black hole, that they're creating this event that we're bringing another reality into another reality. But again, like I said, two can't exist in the one, so they have to end up merging.
Hey, so I seen something too, and they were saying that each time they do that, they collide the particles and stuff. It kind of like has that ripple effect where it fucking wipes out different things to the Mandela's effect. That's why certain little things like change each time that they do that shit.
Yep. And so the thing is, there's what's called the time residuals. And time residuals are when there's a reference to it, because everything associated to the thing that changed, it's changed in that reality where they're saying it's changed. But when you have residual is, for instance, like mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? That's how some people remember it. Then others remember it, magic mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? And the way I know it's what it's supposed to be from my reality, or whatever you want to say, is because you watch Shrek is one of the time residuals, right? When Lord Farquaad's talking to the mirror, he says, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Flintstones, that they removed the T, that's a Mandela effect too. So a time residual there is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles with John Candy and Steve Martin, and they're on that. I think it's the bus or the train, I don't remember, but he's singing Flintstones. Where's the Flintstones? But he's enunciating the T. But
Oh, what?
what is the real thing in that reality has been changed. But there's what's called time residuals, like I stated. So things like where Simpsons might show something, or other things of that nature, and it referenced the old way, even though the Mandela effect saying that it's this way now, but there's something else out there that proves, that that was a thing. Just like the Darth Vader thing, you have freaking was it Tommy Boy where he's talking in the fan, he goes, Luke, I am your father. But in the Mandela effect in this reality, they're saying he says, no, I am your father.
Yeah, I seen that stuff too. I'm like, what? Or the famous one, the Berenstein Bears
Yeah.
with the A and the E.
Bernstein, the way that's spelled Stein. That's how I remember, not Stain.
Bernstein, Brownstein. That's how I remember.
Looney Tunes, Captain Crunch.
Dude, we're all in the fucking Looney Tune land.
Yep. So
We're Animaniacs. Hey, have you got your kids watching that one yet? Have you watched the new Animaniacs?
Mm-mm.
Dude, they got all kinds of shit in there that they're not supposed to.
Damn.
They be popping off about they're talking about, I have to find the clip. They're talking about ice cream, and then they're like reading the ingredients of ice cream and stuff. And then they're like making a mockery, like, well, what is, why ice cream's not real? Like they're it's pretty funny. They do a lot of subliminal stuff in there though. But
Yeah.
back to the werewolf. No, just kidding. We'll do that. We'll leave that story for a werewolf episode. I'll tell my werewolf story. and until then, the crowd has to live with suspense.
Yeah. So, again, as far as I said with the skinwalkers, though, there's only certain types of animals: coyotes, wolves, falcons, possibly buffaloes, but not as often, because that's a huge animal. But bears, um, things of that nature, deer, what you would find in those states that I said, New Mexico, Utah, and Colorado, in those
One of,
areas, Navajo people had existed.
one of my friends, when I was younger, was telling me that they had a coyote running next to them on the highway, and they were like, like, oh, that's crazy. And then he kind of went back behind the truck, and then they're driving along, and then there comes another one running along the truck again, and they're like, how the hell is the coyote running like 70, 80 miles an hour? Because coyotes can't run that fast,
Mm-hmm.
And so they swear that it was a skinwalker.
I think I've seen that, something about that.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
creepy. that yeah, that's um yeah, another thing too, like the people they make the Skinwalker Ranch and the reality show and all that stuff, and it's like this ain't really what it is and about, and to me it's just kind of like to that it's like a joking thing, you know what I mean? It's not like I don't really feel like this really joke. I don't really joke about this stuff because that'd scare the shit out of me running across one of those. I always think that too. Like I seen a coyote over here at my house when I turned on the lights to go park my car in the garage. I turned on lights and there was one right there. And I think like, hey, what if that's who knows? What if that's one of them?
Yeah. And I mean, it's possible. We both live in you live in New Mexico and I live in Colorado, so that's why I've also wanted to do this because it's something that is in our lands, is relevant to where we live. So even the guy in the video, the Navajo skinwalker hunter, he was saying that if you're saying it's like in Florida or somewhere on the East Coast, then probably you're not dealing with a skinwalker. You're dealing with some type of shapeshifter or other entity that's supernatural because skinwalkers are Navajo only, and you have to look in the lands that Navajo existed. Um, but
Right.
here on this website, it's given for mythos and legends. A skinwalker is a person and or a creature that possesses supernatural ability to perform in. They were originally a type of harmful witch, but was recently classified as a creature of the night. The Navajo skinwalker is known as the Yenanadaloshi Navajo, for by means of it, he or she or it walks on four legs, and is a variety of Navajo witch. It is apparently far more common for men to be skinwalkers, though it is possible for women as well.
Do you think they have uh like versions of that shit, like versions of, I mean, there's like the gin, there's like,
Yep.
different like thing. But do you think like they have like versions of skinwalkers, let's say the Middle East, or let's say over there in Japan, or you know what I mean? Like in other cultures, or Africa. I never hear about like some wild stuff. I mean, there's a lot of history over there too.
I actually heard before that there are rumors that there are giant apes like King Kong, or that there are giants or dinosaurs that are over there in the Congo and stuff like that. That there have been rumors and reports of
Hey,
these.
have you watched the new Kong and Godzilla movie?
No, I want to see
Um,
it, but I haven't seen it. No,
it's all. I mean, I didn't really. The story is,
I've
you
seen the
know,
first one. You know where it's the inner
but
Earth.
it's
The
it's
the
all it's all about Middle Earth. It's exactly what you were just talking about. Like, and I think like they, um, I mean, I might be wild and everything, but everybody's like, oh, it's just a movie. But I think they sneak a lot of that stuff in there, and there's a lot of stuff I've seen on movies and predictive programming and stuff, and how it works. And I'm like, I don't know, that's a little too coincidental right there. I'm sorry, it
and
might have
hidden in
fooled me
plain sight.
once, but you might have fooled me once, might fool me twice, but this third time, not this time.
Hidden in plain sight. But
Yeah, yeah.
so the skinwalkers are most frequently seen as coyotes, wolves, foxes, eagles, owls, and crows, and are not creatures to be trusted. Some Navajo believe that skinwalkers have the ability to steal the face of a person, and some believe that if one ever locks eyes with the skinwalker, they can absorb themselves into that person's body, or that one's body might freeze up with fear, allowing a skinwalker to channel that fear to gain power and energy. Um, so it says that a skinwalker can transform into any animal by first wearing a pelt of the animal in order to properly transform into said animal. Similar lore can be found in cultures throughout the world and is often referred to as shape shifting by anthropologists. because it is believed that skinwalkers wear the skins of the animals they transform into. It is considered taboo to wear the pelt of any animal. In fact, Navajo are only known to wear two hides, sheepskin and buckskin, both of which are only used for ceremonial purposes. Oh, and it says in human form, skinwalkers exhibit typical alien behavior, quiet, distant, and seemingly uncomfortable in their own skin. They may be confused or completely disregard human customs.
What? uh, yeah, I think. I mean, a lot of times they say aliens and stuff, but you hear about the flesh suits and shit that they wear, like the flesh mask, that look pretty real. And I was just kind of like, I don't want to get back to it over and over, but it was kind of just weird watching the debate. And like one face would be like this with it all skin all smushed forward, and then he'd go back and it's like it sucked
Yeah.
the skin but like and I was like, that's a little odd, but I don't know. I might be a little high too.
Exactly. So, you ever watch that show Altered Carbon?
Uh-uh.
That shit is fucking dope show. It's based off of these graphic or these novels that came out of Russia that are the Takeshi Kovacs series. Fucking sick. It's about this guy.
What's that on
It was on Netflix, and they had
Netflix?
two seasons of it and one animated, and then it got canceled during COVID. And there's four books, so it never completed the story. But they when they advertised this, they put the human skins in these bags and stuff, and it looked like they're growing clones. And people flipped out and said how it's how the elite grow their new bodies. But again, hidden in plain sight. Now, even though this was a gimmick, okay, to promote this television series, which was a dope ass series, by the way, because in the future you download your consciousness to these discs. Spoiler alert, anyways, and these discs is like you're created a Facebook profile of yourself, and now your consciousness exists in these discs. So as long as you have your
Hey,
disc, you can buy a new sleeve. The sleeves
hey
are
bro, hey, peep this. The exact same shit is in another movie that they cloned Tyrone on Netflix. And I've been saying it for a long time, but people think I'm fucking nuts. But I think that's what the internet's about and all that AI and everything is like the more you put up there, the more stuff you'll have to download into your conscience or your whatever, whatever it's going to be. But that'll be your digital thing, like your memory, like that'll be the only thing that'll be there forever with the AI. Maybe, who knows?
well,
But that's kind of crazy.
that's the theory of the singularity, where they believe that in 2045 that all humans will be able to download ourselves into a single conscious mind. And basically the same thing that I was saying about the show, that from that conscious mind, you can take yourself separately, but in doing that, you're merging and you gain all these memories from everyone else who merged with that single mind. But you can still separate yourself. But now, with this knowledge of everyone else's experiences, and you could put your own consciousness into a sleeve, if you will, that's anywhere in the world at these pod positions. And so then you could go and experience things there and then come back and go back into the singularity.
What the fuck? That's crazy.
So again, hidden in plain sight. And it's fucking crazy ass show. I mean, you gotta check it out.
Pretty wild. Ugh. It's a wild world we live in.
Yeah.
That's kind of like similar to the Matrix, them being in their little pods. And I remember he's eating that dinner. And he's like, I want to come back, like, kind of rich, but not too famous. He's like, he's eating the steak and stuff, picking his life he wants to come back as.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, that's exactly it. Really. I mean, that's the reality we live in. How far from it the truth is it really? Because if you look at the stuff that science is doing and has been doing for many years, can you really question the validity of all of these things?
Well, yeah, like and they're getting real good. I was, something that just clicked in my head, like with the VR stuff, like and the and like the you could pretty much do everything in VR like now. You know what I mean? Like, and then they got the metaverse, and it's like it's we're gonna
Ter-
be in our little pods soon enough, I guess.
Terrence
hey,
Howard.
we'll
wrote-
be we'll be podcasting in our pod.
Well, we basically are with this AI that we're using. You know, your telephone. That's basically the thing that bridges the gap between us being a cyborg. I mean, it's not connected to us directly yet. They've already been experimenting with them.
Hey, it's pretty close.
Yeah. What's it called though? Neuralink, right? Elon Musk, and putting that computer chip in your brain to bridge that gap because the brain can't process as fast as the computer. So the reason why Elon Musk, who had always been against AI and tried to warn us about it for many years, he said that he went the route of Neuralink because he wanted to not only in helping people who are paraplegic or have seizures or things of that nature, have real medical conditions, that they were supposed to counteract those things so this person can have more of a normal life. Well, he also said that it's also to help when AI or robots do end up running the world, as far as work and things of that nature, then we will be able to compete with that on the same level as them by being cybernetic because it'll give us that ability to download information instantaneously, to have the knowledge, to give us strength and
Hey,
make us.
hey, just like again, Neo in the Matrix. He
Yeah.
downloads. And he's like, I know kung fu now.
hmm
Uh,
And it's the same as putting a spike in your brain because it's a chip in your brain.
crazy man. Hey, that's what 1 year from now, half a year. Uh,
Yeah.
uh,
Well, they've already done human trials, moved into human.
oh, hey, did you watch that J Lo movie on Netflix? It's about AI and how it destroys the world through Neuralink too.
Oh,
And then at the end, Neuralink turns out to be the good thing. They're the good guys. In the beginning, they destroyed the Earth, but we came back with them, it was good.
that movie Vanilla Sky, how dope.
With Tom Cruise,
Yeah, because see, remember that the movie was called L.E. Life Extension. That's what he kept seeing in the freaking dream, and that's where he went because after that accident, his face got all jacked up, and he never got it fixed. So he's in the dream where his face got fixed, and his life went back to normal because instead he wanted to kill himself. And they basically put him in the dream, but his dream starts messing up over all these years. Remember? So kind of like saying,
I I don't know if I seen that movie, but if I did, it's probably like long time ago. I have to recheck that out. That sounds interesting.
it's a dope
But
movie. I really liked it. That's Tom Cruise's best movie, I feel, next to Interview with the Vampire. Stick as fuck. So let's see. It got FDA approval on the Neuralink. It was saying that the first approval for the brain, the first person who had the device, um, Nolan Arbol, became the first human patient to receive the Neuralink device.
so it begins. Hey,
Yeah.
so how do you think how's that gonna work? Battling these skinwalkers and all that when you're plugged into your Neuralink.
there's a lot to that with the occult stuff. So it's basically the age of Ahriman, America's flagship of Ahriman, because we're into the material realm and we're one of the ones most into the world of technology as well. I mean, as far as social media goes, television, movies, everything to look outside of yourself instead of within, where you're going to gain your most knowledge and your most truths. Um, so everything you seek out of yourself, the more confused you become, the more they're able to control your consciousness, which in the age of Ahriman, which was predicted by Rudolf Steiner in the early 1900s, great Rosicrucian teacher, by the way, who had a type of spiritual knowledge you couldn't find anywhere else. I mean, the type of teachings and things you would find in his lectures, you can't find anywhere else in the world. And he talked about in the age of Ahriman, which would be in our age in the 2000s, that Ahriman would use technology to try to cut us off from our higher spiritual centers, to block us and keep us in this lower vibrational reality, and then feed off of our energy, basically.
Yeah, and then you look at it. Everything's targeted to low vibrational shit as it is now too.
Yep.
It's like,
So, I mean, this is the beginning. Be warned from what's that called? This is the beginning of us inevitably having to submit our freedoms to something else higher than us, because once we have activated AI and robots, they're going to be far superior to humankind. And because of this, at some point, we're going to have to relinquish our freedoms to this thing, this entity, because we're going to have a hard time defeating it. And if we turned it on, which we were warned about, they're not going to let you turn it off.
heck no. And and they've been really hitting on the predictive programming on that lately too. Like I said, that it was kind of funny, that movie on Netflix. They even referred to Neuralink and stuff. Like I said in the beginning, it was bad guy and turned out to be the good guy in the end. We all lived happily ever after with the Neuralink.
It needs to
We
be.
were Neuralink to happiness.
Oh man, that show Black Mirror. Have you ever seen that?
No, I hear everything about it. I don't know if I want to get in that weird ass show, man.
Dude, that means so this episode should be like Skinwalkers and AI, basically. Because I mean, direction we took this. But Black Mirror is about like everything that's coming, all the futuristic things. Like there's an episode, spoiler alert for those of you who haven't seen it, but where you create your perfect house. But in creating your perfect house, they basically remove that part of your consciousness so that you become a slave to yourself. While yourself is out there living the life, you're stuck in this box. Your consciousness is, and it's like the real you, and you're having to serve yourself to keep the real you happy.
What the heck? Kind of like Avatar?
Worse. You would think
Worse.
of it as like Avatar, because no, think of it this way: like they cloned your consciousness, so it's you, but now you're trapped in a machine. So there's you in the machine having to serve yourself in this house to make the perfect house for you. That's one of those houses that controls the heat, cooks your toast, makes your coffee, does all this shit, changes the temperature in the rooms as you enter it to what's comfortable to you, plays the music you like, the sounds you like. And it's you having to serve yourself while the real you's out there living. But the real you isn't aware that your consciousness is trapped in this machine suffering. Dude, it's freaking crazy. Like, you got to check it out. And the movie, Bandersnatch, if you're able to find it. This was a Netflix original. They pulled it off for a while, so I don't know if you're able to find it now. But Bandersnatch is the movie they made, and you choose your path throughout it, which is crazy. So depending on what you choose, and I like that they made it interactive like that. The story's different.
Yeah, I'm always down to check out new shit,
Black Mirror, dude. Black Mirror.
and I like to binge watch stuff.
That shit
Are
is
they
so.
done? Are they done with their seasons yet?
Yeah, it kind of ended. And I heard that they were gonna do it again, but it's never happened. They did 3 seasons and one movie, I believe it was. The movie, like I said, interactive, which was dope.
They probably said, hey, you guys are putting too much in there, you're getting a little too popular.
Dude, and there's an episode with Miley Cyrus. I didn't think I was gonna like it. I didn't even want to give it a chance, but dude, that ended up being one of my favorite episodes, actually. And it's so fucking sick how they like it's mirrors the Britney Spears stuff, and I love how they used the Nine Inch Nail songs. And even Trent Reznor was out saying how he didn't write his music to be pop music, but it just goes to show how good his music is that it could be throughout any genre type of music.
That's tight.
And they do one of my favorite Nine Inch Nail songs, which is so fucking sick. So I love, and it's a song that she's writing, trying to break free from them brainwashing her.
I when we were talking about that Nine Inch Nails song on the Crow soundtrack a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
I made a reel right away using that song. I was like, yeah, this looks tight. I just put a picture up, but I was like, that song's playing. I was like, makes the picture look so much tighter now. I forget about some of that. And then, like, wasn't it him? He did all the music himself and everything. Was it Nine Inch Nails?
Yeah, Trent Reznor. So
Mhm.
from Downward Spiral forward, because before it would say all the band members' names, but after Downward Spiral on, it would just say Nine Inch Nails is Trent Reznor. So even if you were part of the band, even if you're a famous name, he wrote all the music for all of the songs. So you're just playing what he wrote, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's pretty badass. Yeah, what happened to him? He don't do nothing no more, huh?
Yeah, he had kids.
Oh,
So
kids will do that.
yeah, but he became a born again Christian.
Oh, what? Really?
Yeah,
He probably saw some of that weird Hollywood shit and had to freaking said, I'm getting out of this.
yeah, kids will do that to you. You know what I mean? Thank you.
Ugh, imagine all the shapeshifters you see over there. Ugh.
I know.
Oh, man.
If you put something like this Neuralink in your head too, remember there's the threat that now you've allowed something outside of yourself to invade your mind. And how do you know what you're seeing isn't real or what it is real? How do
Dude,
you?
in that movie, it showed how too, like, if they didn't want them walking somewhere or something, they could tap into your neural system and they control it. It was crazy. Like I was like, whoa. I was like,
Dude,
yeah, that's possible.
The dual traveling space, but we locked in my place. Moving, pursuing, and doing it at a rapid pace. But we the same New Mexican race lays. These beats we already aced in case you didn't know. It's the deadly
What I'm thinking
duo.
is the reason for the beat to keep breathing. And it seem to get deeper when you add a little meaning. Mr. Ding, the bong, gone dong. When he dinging in the middle where we lead it. Waiting to be completed.
Racing and facing against light speed. Showing my soul I've achieved. Never been the one caught up on greed. There's not too many things I need. Just having true homies who deeply know me.
Mr. You know what, with his you know who. Just waiting to hit the blunt and spitting the voodoo. And let it do food. That's what it do cool. When the game act up, I drop that dude.
Drop it. Bring it back.
When the shit fall down, we bring it back. And let the whole thing go front to back.
And ain't no suckers gonna fuck with that. Cause we got the game drunk and we taking it back.
When the shit fall down, we bring it back. And let the whole thing go front to back.
And ain't no suckers gonna fuck with that. Cause we got the game drunk and we taking it back.
Take it back, all the raps that we had in the past. Can I rap with a smash delivered in all cash? It's the master Da Vinci, simply the pimply. When I said that I'ma do it, I'ma get it done quickly.
And on a drop it explicitly and wickedly. Putting beats together so easily. Making music for our own pleasing. Putting out mojo to hits. I know a lot of haters gonna drip, but hey, chill out, don't swallow jizz.
I'm the one pure blood son, motion slept on. Mystery motivated and headed on like a stepson. Leave your vest on, you might need it on the next song. The Deadly's last duo would do you the best,
You know that's all who this is. Drunken Style's been handling this, laughing at my rapping, getting haters pissed. Ain't even put out a diss track, just been tearing them back to back. Drunk Style's representing beginner, and that's fact. And that's that.
Bring it back.
When the shit fall down, we bring it back and let the whole thing go front to back.
And ain't no suckers gonna fuck with that, cause we got the game drunk and we taking it back.
When the shit fall down, we bring it back and let the whole thing go front to back.
And ain't no suckers gonna fuck with that, cause we got the game drunk and we taking it back. Fucked up brains with my game, so many lames in it for the fame. Horrible music cause I'm a soda drain. Let it be told about the cold rain, exposing the corrupted insane brains. Innocent getting locked up, damn shame.
I resided and confided inside of the final side of me. Invited all the hype, decided to get it out of me. Now the beat had to be lost in the monotony. Got to be coming up close to my hypothesis.
What up with that raw good music, rap game I just started abusing in the mainstream's not for my amusement. Underground is where I'm choosing, hope you like the preview. This is what me and Remo just started to do.
Mr. Incredible, led up in the booth and that's credible. Set to pull cannibalistic type of metaphors. Get it from the depths, the corners, gotta get it go. When he let it go, be gone, you better let him know.
Bring it back.
When the shit fall down, we bring it back and let the whole thing go front to back.
And ain't no suckers gonna fuck with that, cause we got the game drunk and we taking it back.
When the shit fall down, we bring it back and let the whole thing go front to back.
And ain't no suckers gonna fuck with that, cause we got the game drunk and we taking it back.